Yeah, capital program. Nikki, come on up.
Good morning. First of all, if you can't hear me, please raise your hand and I'll like this. And secondly, my buddy in crime, Paul, isn't here at the moment, so I'm a little bit worried as he's never late for anything.
Timing is everything.
We won't call that late.
Yeah. He's here on time.
So I want to go over a couple of things today. So obviously the overall capital program performance. I want to talk about deliverability and the forecast review. Key challenges and actions underway, and also looking forward into FY26. So taking the paper as read, I'll give a summarised wrap-up of the FY25 capital delivery. Across the year, we delivered 680.2 million, which is 91% of the budget. Te Kaha is tracking extremely well to program to budget, with just under 200 million delivered this year alone. Excluding Te Kaha, CCC capital spend was 480.3, which is 87% of the budget. That's just under $2 million a day, every day across the working year. 52% of the total spend was concentrated across 20 major projects, including the Court Theatre, which opened in May. Deliverability in Three Waters included over 50 kilometres of renewals, and Transport resurfaced 138 kilometres of road, which is 20 kilometres more than last year. To summarise the forecast accuracy, the PMO forecast, as you know, was 510 for most of the year and then ended up at 500 million. The project management, which is the bottom-up forecast, opened at 550.6 with the final forecast at 462 million. Actual spend was 480.3. Forecasting remains a key challenge with the over-optimisation at the start of the year and then dropping in Q3 and Q4, particularly in Parks, Transport and Three Waters. So doing the analysis on that to understand the key challenges behind. So in the forecasting paper that you received that was part of this capital report, we've tried to give you all the detail and analysis to support you with what we've been doing to work through all of that. Several projects couldn't proceed until the preferred delivery approach or option was formally confirmed. So, for example, Transport, some projects were paused while awaiting agreement on route section or staging, particularly where external partners, Kiwi Rail, NZTA were involved. Three Waters projects could have been held from pending confirmation of treatment or network solutions. Other delays were in planning approvals or strategic alignment affecting community facility and property programs. And when we've gone through these challenges to give you in that forecasting paper, we've given approximate impact of these as well. So, for example, these were about $20 million in forecast rephasing. Other key challenges for us this year were developer timing uncertainty, pre-construction delays, consenting and interdependencies. They were all grouped together. So the action's underway. So we're always continuously trying to strengthen our FY26 forecasting and project capabilities, and that's the focus. Our aim is to improve efficiencies while ensuring our capital program is both realistic and deliverable. And to achieve this, we've embedded, and all these new actions are currently underway. So we've put in place, as you know, we do community of practice sessions. We did approximately 5 forecasting sessions with team leaders, project managers and the project community. And as you know, actively the advisors day-to-day meet up with different people and projects and talk through that forecasting to have that really intimate lens. We've implemented project health checks, so the PMO advisors sit down and go through those projects that may have a slight risk to ensure that we can turn the ship before the end of the road or the end of the water. And that's all in regards to assess forecast realism while, schedule confidence and delivery maturity and making sure that we can support the project managers where they need to be supported. We've also got tailored training pathways. So there's over 60 supporting competency videos in regards to the project management competencies, so everything from initiation and scope management, planning and scheduling, financial management, risk management, quality management, all of the key core competencies for project managers to ensure that they're using our systems as they should be, but they've got that uplifting capability and that support, because not everybody knows everything in a situation. We've got cross-program coordination forums, so these have been initiated. We're at that pre-initiate focus to ensure that that collaboration is happening, to improve visibility of interdependencies, avoid delivery clashes, and support better planning across portfolios. And we've got proof of program sessions that they've already been running, but we've got them across more of our activities, where the advisor really challenges the programs, and there's structured to give program confidence and test the delivery sequencing again. So there's a lot of things in place. Looking forward to the FY26 year, our delivery is strong. So for August, we have 294 projects valued at 234.3 million actively in construction, and that's approximately 42% of our capital budget. And our pipeline's maturing, so we've got 144 projects, which is 14%. They're actually in the planning phase, and that versus last year where we had 92 projects. So our momentum is really gaining at this time of the year. We're off to a strong start. That concludes the update. If you've got some questions.
Thank you for that. I've got two questions, Victoria, then Tyrone, and then Yanni. So the three.
Thank you very much for that extensive work that you've done on the forecasting review. It's really helpful, and it helps us with our understanding of the challenges and identifying them, spelling them out for us, and coming up with a list of mitigations. The issue for me is the mitigations look good in theory, but I wonder where then the reality check is in terms of what we can and can't control. And so the question I have is, when you recognise that we cannot achieve 100% accuracy, what's an acceptable level of forecast margin or error for us for an organisation of our size and nature? And how far off are we from that? And are we making a mountain out of a molehill?
Well, I mean, one answer is I mean, our forecast was within 4 to 6% the whole year. So the PMO forecast from top down, we were within about 5% the whole year. So we were saying all year it was somewhere around about 500. We came in at 480, but that's still within 4% of the actual number. So I think from that, we're better. What we need to better align is the PM forecasting. So that was much more variable, and we started out with a much higher level. This year, we're much more, to date, we're much more aligned. In fact, we're very aligned right now for the last 2 months. So we're much more aligned in that space at the moment.
So recognising that you are more aligned already, how much more work do you think there is to do then?
I think it's constant. I don't think we ever need to stop. Forecasting is art and science, and we need to be looking at it the whole time. It's a constant.
Tyrone, and then Yanni.
Thank you, and Victoria, as I would expect. So that's most of the things I want to ask, but I'll just add, so in the annual plan, there was a resolution just about looking at the deliverability in 26-27. So looking ahead, and I might be a little bit early to say this, but do you anticipate that the overall capital program, excluding Te Kaha, will be roughly similar to this year's budget or higher?
Well, probably a little bit higher, but it will be similar. Yeah, in the rounds of what we've been delivering.
I mean, given that 2 months into the thing, we're already tracking quite a bit below the budget.
So, I mean, we think it will be something similar to what we've been delivering. So somewhere around about the $500 odd million mark, but recognising that some projects do need to be done. So we need to look at how we achieve some of those things. But yeah, somewhere around the $500 million mark, excluding Te Kaha.
Right. So the capital program, the budget for the capital program in the 26-27 annual plan will be somewhere around the $100 million.
I would think.
Right. Okay, cool.
Yanni, and then we'll...
Thank you for your comprehensive report. I was interested in the on page 302, the estimated impact of the forecasting for the third party dependencies. And I know in the list Kiwi Rail, and you say the estimated impact is 4 million, but I mean, just on one project alone, we've exceeded that, like Scrutton's Road Crossing. Thank you for the information. We did get a memo recirculated last night from the 15th of August, but there's no figures in there. There's no total impact of the Kiwi Rail cost that we've faced versus what we either would do as a city or what Kiwi Rail would force us to do. So I'm just trying to understand, because that impact looks very, very low. I mean, I would estimate it's at least in the tens of millions, if not over 50 million in Kiwi Rail imposed costs previously on us. When will we get certainty about what the Kiwi Rail impacts are? Because again, the memo that you've given us, like our project was 1.6, Kiwi Rail wanted 7, they've now come back to 4. It's still quite a significant increase. And that's only on one project, Scrum's Road.
These numbers that we've got on that page 302 were just the impact on those projects for that year's budget, not the total whole of life.
Right.
So some of those numbers you're talking will be the whole of life cost.
So Hallswell Junction Road,
Yes.
I mean, that was like tens of millions, I think, because of Kiwi Rail. And the delay from not being able to do it when we were going to do it would be massive, but that's not captured in here. This is only projects that are complete in the last financial year, is that?
This is over the last financial year, so this is all being factually derived from the project and portfolio data. So it's not from just closed projects, but from the year.
Right, it still seems very, very low. I've asked in the past, is it possible to get a list of all the projects we've done that are Kiwi Rail related, the cost that we would do it at, and the cost that Kiwi Rail has forced us to do it at, and what the difference is? So we've got charts of the
Yeah, I think-
projects.
Can I
Nick might jump in.
step in and answer over Nikki's shoulder, sorry, Nikki. So councillor, you've used a few examples such as Scrutton's Road, so there's and Hallswell Junction Road. So there are some projects that are complete, and we have reported those up through those are the ones that have been reported through to audit and risk as well. But projects like Scrutton's Road, we haven't got a solution yet, so we don't know what the financial impact is until we work through what a solution is. So while we have some money on budget, it is an estimate at this stage, and we're working through it. You have a list in that memo and the report that went to ARMC that has all the projects that are on it and the risks that we see.
But it doesn't have any budget attached to what the significant difference is in terms of the cost that we'll be paying.
I don't think we're not going to sort that today, so maybe Lillian will have another.
Right. So Hallswell
I don't
Junction.
know that we can provide what
So
so we'll come back on that separately.
Okay, so Hallswell Junction Road opens within the financial year that this covers.
Making more.
But this covers what was spent on Hallswell Junction Road for the last year. And that is what has been accounted for in this report. So this report is talking about the financials that were spent in the last financial year. So
do you do
All right,
any?
so one more yarn and then we do need to
Yeah,
move
so
on.
do you do any projection over the life cycle cost of the project and what the forecasting challenges are? What's the total cost of the project? Rather than just by year?
Excellent. So the projects are challenged, absolutely, and that's what these forums are about. It's not just about what's going to be happening in the year, it's about looking at the whole of life of that project as well.
Okay, so it's been moved by Tyler, seconded by Vic. All in favour? Against? That's carried. Thank you both very much.